Okay, I'm about to maybe ruin your entire NFL season because after days of research, keeping up with everything and just being a diehard fan, I'm ranking every NFL team for this year's playoff picture. But I'm doing it in the order of my 2026 NFL draft predictions. And the order down here, by the way, is mixed, but I'm going to order them by the end of this video. That means by the end, you're going to know the whole playoff picture with seedings, who's hoisting the Lombardi, and who's drafting first next year. And let me warn you, if your team is low, don't yell at me, yell at your GM. Let's go. Last season, Justin Jefferson went down, and Vikings fans acted like the franchise got abandoned. But thank God he's going to be back before week 1.
This isn't over!
Because if he wasn't going to play, I promise I wouldn't have this team anywhere near the playoffs. He's just a huge part of this already great team.
The touchdown counts. After the touchdown,
Kevin O'Connell somehow turned Sam Darnold into a QB1. If he can do that, imagine what he's going to do with JJ McCarthy. Imagine JJ to JJ. And yeah, sure, Addison's 3-game suspension is gonna sting, but on defense, they went shopping for chaos. Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Allen, 2 key players for Brian Flores' scheme. He only got better chess pieces. I've got them as a number 3 seed in the NFC, picking 22nd in next year's NFL draft. This next team is for all the Call of Duty fans out there. So we got the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray is back. As a Call of Duty demon, he's working on chemistry with Marvin Harrison Jr. This team's actually solid. I like their defense. They've improved, but not enough. Kyler Murray, who is actually better when a new patch of Call of Duty drops. No joke, I found an article on this during my research to make this video. His performance spikes by 7% after a patch releases. If he cares more about XP than X's and O's, this team's not going far. I have them in the last tier where sucking isn't ending anytime soon. Okay, now the Houston Texans. Everyone who's calling CJ Stroud's sophomore year a down year needs to reconsider. First off, the O-line was so horrible it ranked dead last. Second, he was learning a brand new offense under a brand new offensive coordinator. They showed that they understood the offense more late in the season. Third, the run game basically took the year off, so it didn't set up the pass game like it did prior. But now, welcome to Texas-sized upgrades. Ursery and Cam Robinson alone are huge protection upgrades. Another offseason to master this offensive system means CJ Stroud isn't learning anymore. He's running it. Motion overload plays that they installed into this new offense CJ Stroud struggled with is going to become motion cheat domination.
watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
I've got them as the 4th seed in the AFC, picking 26th. This franchise is an actual psychological experiment. 5 quarterbacks on the roster and only 2 actually have a shot. Shedeur Sanders is somehow QB4, but starting preseason week 1. I go deeper into this team in my last video I made about their 30-year curse, but their biggest win since 1995 might be drafting Shedeur Sanders, just to boost their media presence. That's a marketing gimmick with shoulder pads. The rebuild continues. The Browns pick 7th in the NFL draft. It's still a long one. The Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Yeah, we've all seen that movie. What's new? I'll tell you what's new. Chiefs saw how Patrick Mahomes played in last year's Super Bowl and said we've seen enough. So they went out and got Gardner Minshew. Look at the mustache. It's over. No, in all seriousness, this team still erases defenses even when Patrick Mahomes' wide receivers vanish. They were this close to winning it all again last year, but this year they ripped out Joe Tooney and handed both tackle spots to rookies. I don't think that's going to help in that one game versus the Bills they win every year, so I got them losing to the Bills in an OT thriller. I got them as the 3rd seed in the AFC, picking 28th. This is going to look so bad, but I have the Chiefs in the 3rd tier. losing the divisional round to the Buffalo Bills. And if the Chiefs are still royalty, then the next team here is either going to rise from the dead or stay buried. The Titans. They needed a quarterback to kickstart winning, and I feel like they hit on this one. Now the moment feels closer. They have great pieces in Snead and Calvin Ridley and a decent O-line.
Watch 78. Stay on 78. Get out of my way.
But it's not quite enough for the playoffs. I think Mike Vrabel's firing is going to haunt them for decades to come, unless Cam Ward ends up saving them. Cam Ward is going to show promise, but for now, I have them picking 14th. This is a bit far from over, unless Cam Ward shows otherwise. It's gotta be close. On paper, the Cowboys look like they're a decent team and got pieces. Corner Kyer Elam locking down one side, Diggs locking the other. George Pickens keeping defenses honest and having them show coverage so CeeDee Lamb can eat. But off the field, the front office is playing Monopoly with those $100 bills, overpaying Dak.
What do you think? You ready? Oh, yeah.
Overpaying CeeDee, and now Micah Parsons is looking at the door. It's a financial house of cards. The wind is picking up. On defense, rookie mode Madden. Blown coverages, blown adjustments, and dumb schemes that look like they were downloaded from a YouTube tutorial. That's Coach Eberflus.
Better hurry. Oh, no. This is disaster in the making here.
Just ask the Chicago Bears.
Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught.
The Cowboys get close, then collapse in spectacular typical fashion. I got them as the 8th seed, picking 16th. Don't blame me, blame Jerry Jones. This next team is looking like a Hall of Fame weight room. The Steelers roster isn't built for TikTok dances, but it's built for a bronze face in Canton. I so believe in this team. You got Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin, Jalen Ramsey, TJ Watt.
Avoid that physical contact, beat him immediately, and then Sauce is trying to play catch up.
The fact that they got DK Metcalf and Jalen Ramsey on the same team alone is the reason why they should make the playoffs. Rodgers may be older than some of his receivers' parents, but he's still laser focused. Cam Hayward is still bullying linemen at 36. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season ever. He made the playoffs with Kenny Pickett, Trubisky, and players we've never heard of. I've got them sneaking in as the 7th seed, losing to the Bills in the wild card, picking 19th. Old as gold. Buffalo finally figured it out. You can't win a Super Bowl with just a superhero quarterback. So they built an actual army around Josh. Defensive line, an avalanche. And they added Joey Bosa. Allen doesn't have to carry the whole city of Buffalo on his back anymore. This squad is loaded. I've got them as the number 2 seed, 30th pick in the draft, beating the Chiefs in the divisional round in an OT thriller.
Left, now taken off. Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the...
And if you thought that was dangerous, wait until you see the team that's about to give Patrick Mahomes nightmares. From resurrection to a team that's trying to steal the AFC West crown without asking for permission. The Broncos are the only team in the AFC West that might actually have a chance against the Chiefs. Sean Payton's running an offensive experiment that's half genius, half madness. Bo Nix actually reminds me of Drew Brees. Quick passes, rollouts, and precision. His leadership is off the charts.
People think they have a choice in life, but they really don't. There's no choice. You do it, or I guess you get left behind.
Last year, their defense was terrorism. Franchise record 63 sacks. And lock-up man defense with Patrick Surtain. I've got them as the 5th seed, picking 24th in next year's draft. And trust me, if they're just as good as I think they are, they might actually dethrone the Chiefs. Speaking of chaos, there's a team up north quietly sharpening their claws, and you might be underestimating them. The Detroit Lions quietly clawing their way back. Most teams lose their offensive and defensive coordinators, fall apart. But the Lions, they're going to keep moving. Jared Goff is the quiet assassin, running Ben Johnson's offense and executing it to perfection. People say Ben Johnson made Goff. What if Goff made Ben Johnson? That's what I think. Jared Goff was the one making Ben Johnson look good, because Jared Goff executed Ben Johnson's offense to perfection. The offense was a genius offense, don't get me wrong, but that genius offense needed complex execution, and I think Jared Goff was one of the few to execute it. The pure progression reads, the full field reads, I needed a veteran experience and IQ, and I don't think any quarterback can do that.
Jared Goff, you pretend to fall. Jahmyr Gibbs, you pretend to fall. The defense is confused, and Sam Laporta ends up wide open.
Ben Johnson can give his fancy game plans to any quarterback, but a lot are going to mess that fancy game plan up. And I think Jared Goff was one of the few that maximized the execution of Ben Johnson's genius game planning. Aiden Hutchinson is back, by the way. The secondary is better. I had the Detroit Lions at the 8th seed and barely making the playoffs, but recent Matthew Stafford disc back pain news made me change my mind. They'll bleed for every yard.
Somebody's chewing aggressively.
I've got them as the 6th seed, picking 21st. Not as perfect as last year, but don't sleep on them. They're the underdog. Falcons fans, grab your popcorn. They signed Kirk Cousins to huge money. 2 days later, they regretted it. That year's draft, they went and got Michael Penix Jr. That defense, dead last in the league last year, 423 points allowed. That's not bad, that's horrible. So, they went and got help. Javon Walker and James Pierce Jr. and Floyd, pass rushers that make this defense something to game plan against. I like how this team went out and addressed its weakness. Now it's a whole different team. I got them as the 4th seed, picking 23rd next year. Speaking of teams that don't address their weakness and do the exact opposite, next team, the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are MVP level players, absolute cheat codes, but the front office, letting Trey Hendrickson walk, drafting a defensive tackle I do not like. Defense barely exists. But who's running this team? Zach Taylor's nephew? They should be a dynasty by now.
Cody Ford is starting at left tackle, and boom.
Instead, they're running home in January. I have them picking 13th in next year's draft, falling short in typical heartbreak. Next team up, the LA Rams. The Rams looked like they were loading up for one last run. Trading Cooper Kupp for Davante Adams, that was a genius move. Here's the plot twist. Adams reunited with Jimmy Garoppolo. A love story that's half football, half reality TV.
I ain't never been hit this many fucking times in my career. Every game I get fucked up.
So I had them making the playoffs. But Stafford, the back issue reports are real scary. It's a back disc injury. It affects torque and accuracy. Even if it guts out, it's only a matter of time until his back bothers him again. What was supposed to be the 6th seed of the playoffs got rerouted to Heartbreak City. I got them 9th seed, 18th pick. Davante Adams is somewhere punching the air right now. The Niners aren't just running it back, they're remodeling the whole damn house. John Lynch moved contracts around like Wall Street wizard. Purdy, locked. George Kittle, locked. Debo, gone. After finding out he goes to Popeyes after every practice. Oh, and they brought back Robert Saleh, defensive mad scientist who could probably make a group of traffic cones play cover too.
Get those gut receivers running a couple seconds, sir.
They're drafting. It's not scouting anymore. It's genius. Kittle, Warner, Purdy, all these late 4th to 7th round draft picks. And now they stole Michael Williams in the 1st round. That D-line, a brick wall. But here's the plot twist. I'm calling them the bridesmaid, not the bride. Super Bowl trip, heartbreaking loss. Pick 31 in the draft. Not a fluke, just not enough to win it all. we got the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, it's now or never. You just cashed in. You got weapons. You've got the offensive genius in Cohen, who saved Baker Mayfield's career, but the real story, Travis Hunter. Jags are doing something no team has ever done. Make Travis play both ways. Official social team announced it when announcing the contract. He's going to play 60 snaps on defense, 40 snaps on offense in the Florida Sun, in the NFL versus pros. This is in college. It might be the craziest experiment since Iron Man suit testing. If it works, Travis Hunter could challenge football forever. And if it fails, well, they might ruin the most gifted player of this generation. And if Trevor Lawrence flops with this squad, which I think he will do, Jaguars pick 9th overall next year, but history's watching. Next up, the Washington Commanders. The W logo they had, I thought it stand for washed, but now it stands for W as of win. Jaden Daniels isn't just playing quarterback, he's running a dictatorship. He reminds me of Peyton Manning. You know, this quarterback's leadership, it's off the charts. Because in training camp, it was drop a pass, you're gone. Go off sides, pack your things. It's like Peyton Manning's brain got uploaded into this rookie's head. And now he's got an upgraded army in front of him. Laramie Tunsil's protecting his blind side. And let me tell you, this guy blocks like his mortgage depends on it. Debo Samuel is still out here eating defensive backs alive. Like they're part of the value menu. Defensively, they went shopping at Nightmare Depot, drafted a defensive back, Trey Amos, out of Ole Miss, who I love. And they got Eddie Goldman, Von Miller, re-signed Bobby Wagner, and traded for Marshawn Lattimore last year. This defense is going to be way better than y'all think. My call, number 2 seed in the NFC, picking 29th next year. By the way, did I mention Scary Terry still needs to be re-signed? I'm assuming they get that done. Getting that done, the Washington Commanders are doing what they did last year. Next up, the Raiders. Raiders always sound scary, but they never deliver. Pete Carroll as head coach? I was hyped. Ashton Genty, steal of the draft. Jeremy Chin, Eric Stokes, Devin White. I was like, yo, they improved for sure. I bought in.
The fucking Raiders!
Then came Geno Smith. The soul officially left the building. Vegas passed on Shador. Brady knows that this is a short-term gig. Unless Genty pulls a Saquon miracle, January football is fantasy for the Raiders. Oh, and remember the cornerstone defensive tackle in Christian Wilkins? Released and suing the NFLPA for $36 million. Improvement? Yeah, sure.
Fired up. Good for you, AJ.
Playoffs? No way. Raiders picking 11th next year. The illusion continues. Slow death or master plan? Comment down below. I want to know what you think. Next up, we got the reigning Super Bowl champs in the Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon Barkley didn't just join the Eagles. He showed up with jumper cables and shocked this whole offense back to life. Last year, when things fell apart, it wasn't Jalen Hurts or Nick Sirianni dragging them out of the mud. It was Saquon, the heart, the pulse, the guy who made them believe again. Now, after the Super Bowl, the offensive coordinator Kellen Moore went off to be the Saints head coach. So Jalen Hurts asked the team to get Brian Johnson as their offensive coordinator, his former QB coach who runs a QB-friendly, big swagger offense. The game's about to get easier in Philly, but here's where the movie takes a dark turn. The defense lost Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. Those were perfect decoys that let Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis eat. Now the offense will double team those guys, and defensive pass rush is going to get worse. This year, they're human. I've got them as the number 5 seed, falling to the 49ers in the divisional round. But here's the thing, championship DNA never dies. Next up, we got the Chicago Bears. Ben Johnson turned Jared Goff into a borderline MVP. Sounds promising, right? Wrong. This offense is a masterpiece. You're going to hand it to Caleb Williams?
32,
Next up with the rivals, the Packers. They drafted a wide receiver in round 1 for Jordan Love. They locked Zach Tom, the offensive tackle. Lamar Jackson. The days of Lamar can't pass are long gone. Buried memorial service was 2 years ago. He was MVP in 2023, runner-up in 2024. Improvements are going to surprise you. From 2023 to 2024, he went from 24 touchdowns to 41. Passer rating went up 17%. He has fewer picks than most people have speeding tickets. Oh, and Derrick Henry's back there, more ready than ever. Ready and motivated in an Adam Sandler movie. I call Super Bowl champs dead last in the 2026 NFL Draft. You heard it here first. They're winning the Super Bowl. But if the Ravens are the best team in the NFL, then who's the worst team in the NFL? This is a team made up of Cam Jordan and a bunch of part-time DoorDash drivers.
And you're going to see as he comes off the line, Ugo Amadi, he just does a flop. I mean, he's trying to get...
I hate the Saints draft this year. Every single round. The only bright spot is getting Philly's former Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore. That's it. That's the list. They're so bad, I actually considered cutting them from this video, out of mercy. They get the first overall pick at least. You need a team to play football, guys. But to be fair, they have the coach, so at least they're starting something. As a Patriots fan, I hate to admit it, but I think the Giants are quietly getting scarier. They snagged yet another Ole Miss quarterback in Jackson Dart, who might just shock the league someday. Imagine beating Mahomes in the Super Bowl twice. They stole running back Cam Skattebo, who dragged Arizona State to the playoffs and invested in the offensive line. Oh, and by the way, that defensive line, a total nightmare with Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Carter, and Kayvon Thibodeau. Training camp reports says their pass rush moves like slick swimmers. Playoffs? Not this year. With the 12th pick next year, trust me, they're closer than ever. Would you bet against the Giants flipping the script? Drop your wildest predictions. And the Panthers. Gosh, what did they do?
Chanting has begun from the Allianz Arena.
I mean, Bryce Young showed that he's worth the pick at the end of last year, but the Panthers can show progress in this rebuilding that has been taking place since 2015. They added McMillan, a wide receiver freak they really needed. I like this offense, but it's not flashy either. But what I do hate is the run defense and their pass rush and their secondary. So that's the whole defense. But seriously, I think having a defense to give that quarterback more opportunities is a good way to start. I have them having the 6th pick in the NFL draft. It may seem close, but trust me, it's far from over. My team, the Patriots. We didn't just rebuild, we reset the whole culture. Vrabel came in and brought that old school smash mouth mentality. This is the guy who lived the Patriot way, got mentored in it, made Ryan Tannehill look relevant, and built a defense in Tennessee that smashed Patrick Mahomes.
Wire to wire for the Titans. Mike Vrabel.
And now he's got a better offense, a better defense, and an organization that feels locked in. It's only a matter of time before we're winning the division again. You can bet Buffalo's paying attention. We got the Pats sneaking in as the 6th seed, picking 21st next year. But I got them losing to the Chiefs in the playoffs. But make no mistake, this team is coming. Next is a team they consider our rivals, but it's always one-sided. The Jets' rebuild started the day Joe Namath left in the 70s, and it's still ongoing. Now with new head coach Aaron Glenn, who was formerly the defensive coordinator of the Lions, and Justin Fields under center, This team is young, fast, and visionary. Sauce Gardner is a star. Garrett Wilson is elite. Offensive line got a little better, but none of it matters if the ghosts of quarterbacks past still haunt the building. Can they break the curse? They say everything that starts has an end, but does it really?
The execution, everything's great. Oh boy, he dropped that ball.
The Jets' third pick in the draft. Curse continues, but until when is the question. Crybaby Colts. The Colts have been rebuilding for what seems like forever, but here's the reality. It's just Anthony Richardson doing backflips in the rain while this team gets stomped on by every... This team is a joke. Still no offensive line, still no dominant defense, still no reason to care. No quarterback, nothing. If those free agents like Chardavius Ward mattered for the wins and losses column, trust me, I'd be talking about them. But they don't. You need a team to play football and a coach. The Colts, second overall pick, the waiting for a real team continues. The Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold's in Seattle, which means, well, he's a product of offensive genius Kevin O'Connell. Darnold thought it was all him, but it was really the system. This is an upgrade over Geno Smith? I mean, sure, but not enough to sneak into the playoffs. Adding Cooper Kupp is nice, except he's always hurt, not as consistent as he was. This team is stuck in the almost zone, sandwiched between not yet and not quite. They settle for the 15th pick, eyes on a future that's so far away. Okay, now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to keep it short. They got rid of the offensive coordinator who's better than their own head coach. Not to say Todd Bowles is bad, but that offensive coordinator saved Baker Mayfield's career. He went from out of the league to a QB1.
They wanted me to come in, be myself, bring the joy back to football for guys who weren't having as much fun.
Terrible offseason. Just a bad offseason. They lost the most important person on the team. Yeah, Baker's going to end up going back to being bad again.
I thought stressful was not having Super Bowl rings. This wasn't daycare.
Now for the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, the only reason he's there is because it's Miami.
Right here.
Yeah, they got rid of Ramsey for Fitzpatrick, who's aging, who you had once, you lost capital for, and he's not a productive player. He had 2 interceptions with the Steelers? Yeah, that trade is an L for sure. And yeah, the players don't want to play, they just want to live in Miami. Buckle up, Miami fans. I have them picking 5th in next year's draft and drafting a bust too. It's not ending anytime soon. Here I drew the playoff picture, and with the scores, by the way. And yeah. So there it is. Tell me where you think I went wrong in the comments. Or just roast my Patriots takes. I'm here for it. Drop a comment if you're ready for a year of chaos. So there you have it. A playoff picture with Baltimore winning the Super Bowl down to the Saints picking Ark Manning, assuming no trades happen. Yeah, there it is.